I'm Chief Meteorologist Bruce Katz. After a stormy start to the day, all the rain's moving out, but we're not done with it yet. We'll talk about how much more in your Weather Authority forecast.
The linemen diligently worked to restore power to areas of the West Bank hit hard by severe weather. I'm Chris Welty. I'll have more details coming up in a live report.
The conclave that will elect a new pope prepares to meet again tomorrow after failing to choose one in the first round of voting.
We'll have an update from the Vatican.
Now, from New Orleans' most watched news, Fox 8 Local First starts now.
Cameras capture powerful winds that moved through the West Bank this morning.
People in Marrero, Harvey, and surrounding areas are busy cleaning up. The storms also dumped heavy rain in parts of Metairie and New Orleans and struck Arabi with damaging winds. Good evening. I'm John Snell.
And I'm Meg Gatto. We are not done with the rain. More storms are on the way.
So the question, Bruce Katz, is, what's the timing here?
Well, the timing is going to be a little break tonight, a few showers tomorrow, but then another rebound on Friday. Let's get right to it now. We can show you really outside. We've got some blue skies showing up, a little sunshine, which is a welcome thing because all the rain that we had certainly dropped a lot of rain with that flooding and also that severe wind on the West Bank. We're still under a flash flood watch. I don't really think tomorrow is going to be a big deal, but on Friday, more rain will be in the forecast. As you can see, the bulk of the rain now moving south of Mobile, a few showers just offshore, but overall the metro north and south looking really good. As we take a look at the radar review, anywhere from 6 to 7, here's your timestamp, a few showers and storms to the west. The morning drive had some rain, but watch what happened by 9 o'clock. The big line of storms moved in. Amber Wheeler, Hannah Gard, they were in with you, showing a wind line coming in with winds up to 60 to 70. Straight line winds. I personally talked to the Weather Service. They are not going to do any survey of tornadic development. They're going to call it straight line winds. Very quickly, it moved off to the east by 10 o'clock. And then as the day went on, we saw showers during the midday. And then finally this evening, all the rain moves out, and now it is over toward Mobile. Let's take a look at the rainfall totals. I'm going to go further in detail in just a bit in full weather, but 2 to 3, up to 5 to 6 isolated, even up to 8. So once again, that heavy rain, we've been advertising it now for several days. And look at the wind gust when that line moved in. After midnight, these are the highest wind gusts, up to 50 to almost 60 miles per hour from Kenner to the lakefront. 49 at Belle Chase, 30 on the North Shore, 28 heading over toward Macomb. And right now, we're getting a bit of a break as all that rain begins to move on out. And also, it looks like we will see a drier night tonight as things begin to settle down. Here's your main low. This thing is creeping. At least the main energy is moving away. And as it does, here's that break. But as it continues to move by, we're going to see another disturbance develop on Friday. And with that disturbance, rain chances ramp up into Friday and Saturday as well. Here's a look now at the model. As you can see, not a whole lot going on through tomorrow morning. Any rain to the south. Now, during the day, I'm going to go 40%. I'm going to bring it way down for tomorrow. But as we move in to overnight and then we get into Friday, during the morning at 7 a.m., not much. But here we go again. More heavy rain moving into the metro throughout the day. So really more so Friday, another first alert into Saturday as the low picks up. Notice the spin in the atmosphere. This brings us to Friday night at 10 o'clock. Then we move into the morning hours. More rain at 7. And then Saturday afternoon, most of the rain begins to lift on out finally. Right now, we are in the low to mid 70s. Rain cooled air. Today we stayed in the 70s all day, so there was a benefit to the rain. Not quite as hot. The dew points in the low to mid 60s, so the air is dried out just a bit with some of that rainfall. And the winds right now more easterly at 8 to 15. Nowhere near the high wind gusts that we saw earlier. So overnight into the evening hours, temperatures by 11 through the morning dropping from the 60s, and then we start warming back into the 70s. So again, Meg and John, at this point, it looks like we are finally getting a bit of a break. All the rain has drained off. Tomorrow a break, but Friday into Saturday, 2 more days to go. After that, that low that's moving at a snail's pace should finally be out of our hair. More details coming up on some impressive rainfall totals in just a few minutes.
All right, Bruce, thank you. Well, this morning's brief storm caused significant damage in parts of the West Bank.
Chris Welty is live on Avenue D in Marrero, one of the hardest hit spots.
John, Meg, yeah, we are on Avenue D right across from Immaculate Conception School, and within the last hour, linemen have been able to install the new power poles here along Avenue D. Now, they had 2 power poles that were completely leaning into the street earlier this morning, so definitely some good news. They are making progress, but people in this area, they are still without power, and you can see linemen, they are just diligently working multiple crews out here in bucket trucks. Now, the big story throughout Marrero, Harvey and Gretna, wind damage. The storm tearing apart power poles and street lights, not only along Avenue D, but also Medical Center Boulevard across from West Chef Hospital. Power poles and lines were down at Immaculate Conception School, prompting them to dismiss early. Now, Principal Kim DeMarco says many students were at Mass when the church began to take on water. Neighbors say the quick-moving storm made for scary moments, especially when those power poles were crashing down.
This was like, it blew up, and it was like a huge light and yellow colors, and then it went down the line, and then the next post down there it cracked and made a loud noise.
A lot of strong wind, kind of blowing against the windows and the doors, and the kids were very, scared. We had some crying, but it's all good.
Riverside Auto Parts along River Road also receiving damage. Several garage doors blew in or began to crumble. Now, employees say power went out and the sky went black as the fast-moving storm began causing damage. Now, the good news tonight, no reported injuries, and Entergy says that power should be fully restored by midnight. Reporting live in Marrero, Chris Welty, Fox 8 Local First.
Well, as Chris alluded to, most of the power outages tonight are on the West Bank. Entergy reports 5,100 customers in JP without service, 2,700 in New Orleans.
A check of traffic now. You can see the break in the downpours outside the Fox 8 studio, and although people were dealing with a wet track earlier, the roads, we are happy to say, are beginning to dry out as we are in a pretty good rush hour right now. One Catholic school in Metairie was in Mass when the storms came through, which forced the school to close early as well.
Gabby Killett looks at the damage in Metairie and Arabi.
Meg, school officials sent parents to St. Catherine of Siena School this morning after the power went out. Parents flocked there to pick up their children. Entergy restored electricity quickly, but the school had already made the call to send students home for the day. St. Catherine's principal, Maria LaFleur, says she's grateful to the school community for responding quickly.
And we sent texts out to parents because we were told by Entergy that it was going to be several hours without power. We couldn't cook lunch. Without lunch, we can't have school. So we asked the parents to come pick up their children. We were grateful that Entergy was able to get the power back on faster than expected, but we had already made the call because of lunch situation.
So we were in church and then the power went out. Yeah, the power went out from the thunderstorm. It was crazy.
Our principal came and said that so the power's out, we get to have no school.
No school. Yeah.
Are you excited?
Yeah, we're excited.
And across the city in St. Bernard Parish, power lines were down. In Arabi at about 10 this morning, a power pole fell on a couple's home. The couple told us that they're glad they're safe.
I was shocked, really, because I see the tree coming down, really, but I didn't know how bad it was on the house when it came down. As long as she wasn't hurt, I was satisfied.
Now, the St. Bernard Parish president says 2 other power lines went down across the parish, as well as several trees. He says nearly 1,500 St. Bernard residents were out of power Wednesday, but that most people have their power back.
All right, Gabby, the first vote to elect a new pope ends with black smoke. Tomorrow, cardinals will vote again on a successor for Pope Francis. The 133 Catholic cardinals will remain in the Sistine Chapel until at least 2/3 agree on a new pope. Each round of voting takes 90 minutes to 2 hours. When a majority of cardinals agree on a new pope, the cardinals will burn the votes and add a chemical that turns the smoke from the chapel chimney white. Otherwise, the smoke is black, meaning there's no new pope yet. A live look now at Vatican City and the chimney, where we see either the black or white smoke. Stay with Fox 8 for the moment the cardinals select a new pope.
Orleans Parish DA Jason Williams says that homicide detectives are now considered rock stars in his office. He credits his team's near 90% murder conviction rate to the NOPD's use of technology and data-driven investigations. But as Maddie Kurth reports, one crime watchdog paints a somewhat less rosy picture.
Orleans Parish DA Jason Williams says homicide detectives are stepping up their game in New Orleans. Their investigations now tapping into the digital age and flipping the script for a city once crowned the murder capital of America.
This is a result of women and men putting themselves in harm's way to make this community safer.
Williams says that work has led to a 90% homicide conviction rate in his office.
It's not serendipity. It didn't happen by accident.
But one crime watchdog says the data tells a different story.
You need to take a look at the guilty pleas, you need to take a look at the trials, and you need to take a look at the dismissals.
Of the 108 murder cases closed in 2024, 30% were dismissed by Williams' office.
This meaning that the DA's office initially concluded there was sufficient evidence to move forward with a case, seek an indictment, and prosecute. But they ultimately decided to abandon the case, and that's referred to as a dismissal.
The suspect walks. Goyeneche says only when you omit the dismissals does the conviction rate skyrocket to 90%. Otherwise, the data shows a 65% conviction rate. Still, he says, the numbers look good.
You're seeing law enforcement work together and collaborate together in ways that didn't exist 3 or 4 years ago, at least not to the level that we're seeing.
They're doing it in a very strategic and in a very nuanced way that is yielding results that are better than any other place in the country.
Goyeneche and Williams agree. NOPD detectives are producing evidence that juries want to see. Many cases are driven by data, with officers using social media, crime cameras, and license plate reader technology to generate proof that withstands reasonable doubt.
I've never seen case files look better. I've never seen police reports look better.
The data shows 24 out of 30 homicide trials ended in a conviction last year. In New Orleans, Maddie Kurth, Fox 8 Local First.
You may have noticed something a little different about what's on your television tonight.
It's our first day in a brand new home and a new chapter for us and you, our audience. A multi-million-dollar investment aimed at meeting the demands of today's media landscape.
Nestled right along the I-10 and coincidentally just down the street from the old location, WVUE studios seem light years ahead in technology.
Extremely excited. I mean, we're at the finish line now.
Fox 8 General Manager Michael Schaefer says close to a year of work went into converting 37,000 square feet into the new studios, with an emphasis on the highest end technology. What you see as a viewer, including top-of-the-line LED monitors, 2 studios, and behind the scenes, 2 control rooms, along with just about everything else shiny and new.
This is state of the art. I mean, this is the highest end technology that you can have in our industry right now, and people will see the difference when they're watching.
There's that news thing again.
Back in the day when New Scene 8 started broadcasting from the old building, film was king. Videotape was just coming into vogue. The new Howard Avenue location aims to meet the demands of today's media landscape across multiple platforms, traditional television and digital, for big screens and small.
And this is my home. I take that so seriously. I mean, we want the best for our people, and this is an example of trying to give them the best.
A maze of wiring runs through the ceilings and floors of the building, like arteries of digital information, with today and tomorrow in mind. I have no idea where that's going. But rest assured, someone does.
And for Fox 8's owner, Gray Media, it represents millions of dollars in investments in the television station, and to no small degree, to the future of local television in the computer age. But just as importantly, an investment in the community.
The investment is for all of us, right? It's for the 12 parishes and 2 Mississippi counties that we cover on a daily basis. But separate and apart, yes, an investment in the city of New Orleans, showing how much we feel like investing in the city is important.
A new television home for the next half century.
We're still figuring out where the light switches are, to some, at least I am.
But, you know, we are so grateful that our parent company, Gray Media, decided to invest in not just us as a TV station, but really, as you mentioned, John, in your story, the community. I mean, this is a huge investment, and we're going to be able to broadcast the news for our viewers in a way never done before.
You know, think about it, Top Golf's right across the street, or I'm sorry, 504 Golf, sorry.
504 Golf.
And get the right one, John. But so together, tens of millions of dollars in investment.
It's an exciting time.
It is. And Bruce has shiny new stuff, too.
During my break, maybe I'll win some golf balls. You never know. It's right across the street. Well, we are looking much better on a lighter note. The rain's moved out for now. Sunshine behind us. But with that, it looks like more rain is in the forecast. I'll let you know when coming up in your Weather Authority forecast.
It'll be the first year without her.
This Mother's Day will be an emotional time for the family of a grocery store owner killed in a shooting. Coming up, the latest on the case and the memories loved ones are keeping close to their hearts.
And a fire near Armstrong International leaves a charred mess of 18 Wheeler cabs.